Now, a Charlotte County father is dead, and deputies say they had no choice but to shoot him. The Charlotte County Sheriff says Jacob Taulbee charged the deputies with 2 knives on Markham Street last night. Investigators have been at the scene all day, and so is Wink News reporter Adam Wright. Live now with more on what happened. Adam.
Yeah, Chris, within the last hour, a handful of people showed up at the house here on Markham Street after deputies finally cleared the scene after several hours. We just tried speaking with those people, but they shut the front door on us. The Charlotte County Sheriff says what happened here all started with a call for a domestic dispute. Neighbors on this quiet Englewood street are in shock.
It's very frightening, living right next door to that.
Sunday night, flashing lights filled the neighborhood. The sheriff's office says deputies responded to this home on Markham Street around 8 p.m.
During the 911 call, a male was heard making threats toward deputies. As the deputies responded, they heard some noise in the woods to the left of the residence.
Deputies say the homeowner, 41-year-old Jacob Taulbee, came out of the bushes holding a knife in both hands.
As the deputies began to back away and ordered him to stop, he continued advancing toward them with the knives raised. One of the deputies then fired several rounds.
Taulbee died at the scene. Neighbors Wink News spoke to know little about him or his family.
Not neighborly. At least with me they're not. I've never seen him talking to anybody else either. I don't know.
It's a sad situation for the family and the loved ones too, you know, that's not easy.
Investigators say this was the first time they'd been called to Taulbee's home for a domestic disturbance, and he had no history of violence.
Mr. Taulbee's only known record was out of Wisconsin for a petty theft. So we have not had any run-ins with Mr. Taulbee down here in Charlotte County.
The sheriff would not take any questions at today's news conference, but he did answer one that Wink News asked as he was leaving. That's when we learned that 3 deputies involved in last night's shooting were placed on administrative leave, which is standard protocol. Live in Englewood, Adam Wright, Wink News, now.
Adam, thank you. The last time Charlotte County deputies had to open fire during a domestic dispute, they lost one of their own. Sergeant Michael Wilson died in August of 2013. Law enforcement says domestics are some of their most dangerous calls.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us again, once again. The sheriff is going to, the sheriff will brief you again on the events that occurred on Markham Street on Sunday. Sheriff, please step up.
Good morning, everybody. As I stated on Monday, when I had more information to provide you on this investigation, I would give it to you. I'd like to first start off by saying I want to thank you for your cooperation and your patience with regard to the release of the deputies' names. This is not just a traumatic event for family and friends of Mr. Taulbee, but also of those of the deputies involved. And we like them, it's my policy to give them a chance to decompress, and we also put them through what we refer to as crisis intervention stress management debriefing, because we also want to make sure that our staff is not just physically fit for work, but also that that mental well-being is taken care of. So that is why we withheld their names, to make sure that they were okay. As stated, we responded to a 911 call on Monday evening. The female caller was very hysterical on the phone. She stated she was in fear of Mr. Taulbee. Mr. Taulbee is heard in the background stating to bring the cops, that he was going to kill them. At one point, the caller had locked herself in the bathroom to get away from Mr. Taulbee. He did access the bathroom. There were several holes in the bathroom door. One of them appeared to be from a knife. He did make access, and he spoke to the operator, made some additional threats to the operator toward law enforcement. The operator worked diligently and talked him into going outside, away from the victim in this case. And when he said he was going to wait outside, he basically made the indication that he was going to be waiting for law enforcement to respond. The first deputy on scene was Deputy Adam Freitas. He's been with us a little over a year and a half. Within a couple minutes, Deputy First Class Scott Sarver, who is a 23-year veteran, arrived with his trainee, Deputy Tony Soltis, who's just been with us 5 months. The three approached the residence. As they're approaching the residence, they parked down the road just a little ways. As they're walking past a wooded area, they heard some rustling in the bushes. They approached the front of the house, and as they started approaching the front of the house, again, they heard more rustling in the woods, and they turned, put their flashlights up, and they saw Mr. Taulbee coming out of the woods holding those knives. He was holding them up in a threatening manner and moving toward them. They kept ordering him to drop the knives, to stop, but he kept advancing toward them. They were backing up, but he came within about 10 feet of them. The deputies all had their firearms drawn, at which time Deputy First Class Scott Sarver fired his weapon 8 times. Preliminary autopsy results show that we believe he was struck with all 8 rounds, but we will not know that until we get the final autopsy report. Mr. Taulbee was said to have been drinking heavily all day and was highly intoxicated. Again, I will not have the blood alcohol level until we get the toxicology report back, so we won't know his blood alcohol level or if there were any other substances in his system until we get that report back, which could be anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. So at this time, I will take some questions.
So could you tell us the distance between when Mr. Taulbee came out of the woods to the officers when they started to shoot at him, what that distance was?
He was less than 10 feet,
Less than 10 feet.
which is a dangerous situation to be in when somebody is with an edge weapon.
Do you know, were the 8 shots that were fired, were they in rapid succession, or was it, 2 and then a pause, 3, and then, was it rapid succession?
Well, you can hear the shots from the 911 tape, and they all sounded pretty rapid. Normally when you're under a stressful situation like that and you are firing your weapon, it's also not uncommon for somebody to believe they only fired 2 times, but they could have emptied their magazine. In this case, Scott had fired the weapon 8 times, and it sounded like they were pretty much in succession.
And he's the only deputy that fired his weapon?
Yes.
Did he say anything as the officers approached him? Was he communicating verbally with the officers?
No, he wasn't saying anything.
Some people say that cases like these kind of illustrate the necessity for deputy body-worn cameras. Is this something that the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office is considering, or?
We've been looking into it. There's a lot of things to consider before you just strap on a camera, so it's something that we have been looking at for a while now.
Sheriff, one of the concerns, we were out in the neighborhood, spoke to some neighbors, they were wondering if gunfire was necessary in the situation. I know you guys are having an investigator looking at this. Any comment on that, as far as if it was justified or anything like that?
Yes, I heard there's been a lot of chatter about why we did not use less lethal. Well, you meet lethal force with lethal force. If you take out a taser, there's a chance you can hit him with the taser, but if the prongs miss or you're off target, it takes time to reload that taser, and you can close the gap of 10 feet very quickly. And you're not going to wait for the first blow to come in, because the first blow can be a fatal blow. So my deputies are not going to wait for one of their fellow deputies to get killed or injured, or for themselves to get killed or injured before somebody returns fire. You meet deadly force with deadly force, and that's how we are trained.
So you're not trained to shoot at somebody's leg?
No.
The deputies are there on paid leave, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What protocol follow going forward will they be taking?
Well, we have the investigation that's going on by our Major Crimes Unit and the State Attorney's Office to review to make sure everything was within law. And then after that, we do our internal investigation to make sure that everything was done within policy. And we also have a shoot review team, which is part of that.
sorry if you've already mentioned this, but have you spoken to the deputies that were involved? How are they doing right now?
I spoke to them. They're doing well. They're doing well as Beacon. Under the circumstances, they're doing fine. So, and like I said, their mental well-being is very important to us. So we make sure we take the necessary steps to make sure that they are okay, because this is very traumatic for everybody involved.
Do you know if the deputy who fired his weapon, do you know if that was the first time he's ever had to do so in line of duty?
I believe it is. It's very rare for law enforcement to ever fire their weapon during their career. And I'd like to say that it's even less here in Charlotte County. This is not something we do day in and day out, thank God.
Sheriff, have you had any feedback from the community on this case? Do you specifically on how they're feeling about it?
Not me personally. Nobody's communicated with me personally. I know that some people have made some comments on social media. I've heard that other people have heard some chatter. The biggest chatter is why didn't we use less lethal? And I believe I answered that.
And you said the one who did fire his weapon was the one who had been on the force for 22 years?
23 years,
23
yes.
years. Okay. Can we get those names later on?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Were there any children in or around the house?
There was I believe she was 13 years old. She was locked in her bedroom during this incident. From what we were told, she kind of locked herself in her bedroom when he started to get aggressive within the household.
And how many other people were at the residence at the time?
That was it. There were just the three of them. The caller, the child, and Mr. Taulbee.
Do you know if the child is his daughter?
There is a relation.
And the caller, can you confirm was his wife?
There is a relation. The 911 tape, if you're interested in having it, my staff is working on it now. As you know, per law, there are certain things that must be redacted, so they are working on it now, and you should have it no later than the end of the business day today. I have not time for one more question.
Sheriff, you had said that the deputies warned Taulbee, right?
Yes.
This was coming at them.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Stay safe, guys.
Thank you.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts. 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. It is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself, 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know, too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So, if you can give more than that, that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that, that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now. Where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran in, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran in, no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So That case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know the $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.